Hey, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, because you know what? We are viewed all around the world. So, this is Coach Tiffany Parra, editor in chief of Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. And today we have a wonderful featured business that we are going to go ahead and bring on. They are so dear to my heart. It is Just Us for Youth out of Pomona, California. I am actually one of the volunteers there when I get time to go there and just love on the people that are there. And this gentleman here, he spends a lot of time there, and he is one that helps to really develop these kids out there. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on my guest. Good afternoon, Christian. How are you?
Hi, Tiffany. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for asking. And yourself?
Oh, I am fantastic. And thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you so much for just what you do. So please take a moment to just, tell our audience who you are, just give them, your name, who you are, where you're from, just a little bit of your background.
Cool. Yeah, thank you. Well, my name is Christian. I go by Chris Verduzco. I'm from the LA area. Grew up my whole life in Pomona, but I was actually born in Monterey Park, near East LA by LA. But I've been in Pomona my whole life. Went to school here, graduated from here, and yeah, this is pretty much where I do at, where I reside at, and been working with JU for Y, Justice for Youth for like the past year and a half, roughly. Been on since September of 2021.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I've been doing this, and I got hired under the On Point program, and I've been on that program ever since.
Awesome. Awesome. So what got you, started in just mentorship work?
Mentorship work. Yeah, that's a good question. I think, I mean, obviously, I think my personality in general started like I'm just a person who likes to work with others. As you can tell, well, I'm an extrovert. As an extrovert, you kind of get your energy off people, like being around
Yeah.
people and like helping people. It kind of all started. Um, I think it started with like an after school gig,
Yeah.
tutoring, mentoring, after school program, and then from there went on to coaching soccer at the high school that I graduated at,
Oh,
Unity
nice.
High School, out located in Pomona. Did that for about 3.5 years. Then I decided, like, it's time for me. I did what I had to do here, and then after that, went on to like full on mentorship to the youth, to the App Promise Youth in Pomona, and that's when I got connected to JU for Y.
Love it, love it. And I love how you say that at promise, right? Because you hear that stigma a lot of times, at risk, right? And there's no individual out there. I mean, especially the kids, they're not at risk. They're at promise for everything and anything that's out there, don't you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
And they just need a chance.
yeah. They just need a chance and a space to be listened to.
Yeah, yeah. So what was it that really like shifted you like really full force into this type of work? I mean, I know you're an extrovert and you like to be around people, but was there like a situation that maybe happened or was there a person that, inspired you to get into this work?
Yeah, I think one main thing was wanting to get some experience, and just like mentorship and that whole game. Well, I think before starting, I'm actually in grad school right now.
Okay.
I'm doing I'm doing my master's at Cal State LA
Nice.
on their
Congratulations.
school-based family counseling program. And shout out to Cal State LA.
Yes.
And I think before starting that, knowing that I wanted to go to grad school, I wanted to get some experience and some type of mentorship, just that whole field. And I think that's what kind of led me, like, want to really just um, learn like the schools, how they work, working with students directly. I just like working with youth, as you can tell, like my past history from coaching soccer to being after school. Uh, Tutor mentor has been around the youth, like that's just a thing that I like to do. But the main person, you said, like, is there a person? And there is a person, and it's Dr. Pumakawa. I want to just mention her name in this interview. She's a professor at Cal Poly Pomona. Uh,
Okay.
and she's actually the one who referred me to this organization, to this nonprofit organization. I had just graduated at Cal Poly, and I still stayed under her mentorship, doing her research under her research lab. And I think before I graduated, she provided a resource. Hey, you should check out this nonprofit. It looks like something that you would like to do. How she said specifically, like it's up your alley. I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. And then it wasn't until about maybe like 3 or 4 months after when I decided to send the email like, okay, I'm gonna check them out, and then been blessed that she provided that reference and that opportunity, and that she knew what I kind of liked, and been
Yeah.
blessed that I hired.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I know there's a lot of different organizations out there, that do some similar work. So what really was it her that really got you to go to Justice for Youth, or did you do a little more research on them? Tell us a little bit about Justice for Youth.
Yeah, I think it was just the type of work that they do that got me hooked on, and like, all right, this is cool. I want to do this. Justice for Youth is a nonprofit located and based out in Pomona, but in other cities as well. And we focus on mentoring at promise youth to be better students, better people, better leaders. And just coming from my background and my personal experience, been around the city, witnessed the harms that are around us, the hardships, the ups and downs that we deal with sometimes as a youth, as a youngster in Pomona. And I think
Mhm.
that's also kind of like what inspired me and influenced me to go into this type of work, because luckily I managed to become successful in a city that sometimes is a lot of adversity and a lot of challenges. I'm blessed that I'm making it out, or I'm making something of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, it's time to get back. Time to get back and stick to the roots, and work with these students and these kids.
Yeah, yeah, it's very important to give back. Now, I know with Justice for Youth, I've volunteered on the Connect program, and
Yeah.
with Ashley, and have also spoken to some of the other the ladies that are in the steady program as well. Tell us a little bit of like specifically about On Point and what exactly you guys do, when you guys go into the schools and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds like you know some volunteer. That's good. uh, uh, On Point, learning the history of the organization. I believe the On Point program was the first program established when the org established. I need to
Mhm.
correct me if I'm wrong, but it was the first program, and it's kind of like the foundation, like kind of like the baby of the organization. And I think from there, I think Eric, our director, um, kind of started seeing like different needs that could have sprouted out of that On Point: youth employment services, parenting, um, drug counseling, just different programs that got extracted from On Point, and then On Point slowly stayed based on um, schools, campuses. Reaching the students at campuses is where you could reach them. Sometimes you may not reach them at home, but on
Mhm.
campuses, that we could intervene on campuses, we could get them and we can mentor them. So yeah, On Point is a school based intervention. We primarily focus on facilitating and running restorative groups amongst the students that are referred to us. That's like the main goal of the program, running group. But we do also have one-on-one mentorship, and we also go into classrooms to do that in-class support, in-class tutoring, modeling good student behavior. But the main thing is running that group and just having meaningful conversations that impact them and plant them seeds.
Awesome. I love that. So we're going to go ahead and cut to a quick commercial break. And then when we come back, I want to get to know just about some of the accomplishments that that you have just working with Justice for Youth. So we'll be right back. tell you, I love that commercial. I dance with the Mupo Man every time. So, welcome back. We are here. This is Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine with our featured business spotlight with Chris Verduzco from the On Point program with Just Us for Youth. So, thank you so much again for joining us today. So, Chris, working with the youth, I mean, it's so rewarding. But just tell me about, like, what's the biggest accomplishment that you've had while working so far in your career?
Well, I think I don't know if I could speak for all mentors, but I think like when you think about an accomplishment, especially working with the youth, is like seeing that youth member kind of like turn around and start flourishing and having that bigger picture, or having that bigger open mindset. I think that's probably the biggest accomplishment. I think that's what I think of an accomplishment. That's why we kind of do the work and like
Yeah.
to really help these youth. Biggest accomplishment would probably be one of the biggest, I think. So a specific individual that I'm working with right now, she has really gone through a lot and met her last year actually, and got connected, started mentoring her. She was a leader in the girls group, and really got in tune with the program and started getting connected more and more. And now it turns out she actually works for us now. She actually works with us. She actually works in the org as well. She works under a different program, um, but she's kind of like the mentee became the mentor now. So it's kind of like,
Oh, yes.
which is like that paying it forward. So I think it'll be her, will be one of the biggest accomplishments. And she's a senior now, and I just recently heard that she's graduating. So we're like
Yes.
slowly getting there. And I would say that would be one of the biggest accomplishments.
That is just awesome. And I think you're right. Being able to see them just turn around and turn around from your guidance. So I mean, kudos to you guys and everything that you do. Because when I am around, I was in HR for many years, so I like to just kind of observe people and just seeing some of the mentors at Just Us for Youth work with the youth is just amazing just to watch you all. So again, I just want to thank you for what you do. So how do you show others that you believe in them? So you've been working with quite a few of the youth. How do you really help them to just feel that special connection and just feel like they want to work with you and they want to turn around and like how do you make them believe in themselves?
First one is consistency, staying consistent on campuses, showing your face when you have to be there, being present. That's by far, I think, one of the biggest ones. And then after that, once you're already building that consistency, it takes time. Some students are a bit harder to reach than others, and that's just normal. Um, how do I show them that I believe in them? You know, JU for Y mentors kind of like navigate campuses a little different. We're not administrators, we're not principals, we're not therapists, we're not essentially we're like a big brother, big sister program.
Mhm.
We chop it up, we kind of like get down to their level and kind of like show them that we know what's up, and that we kind of like, I guess we try our best to relate in the language that we use, or and it's all by design, but also ultimately just being genuine and showing that restorative love, that when they say something, like, you don't judge them, you don't react like how maybe the whole world is reacting to that. You come at them differently, you listen to them, you provide that support, and you just listen to them, and restoratively, and it takes time. It really takes time, and just being genuine, being cool with them. Just sometimes you just want to have fun and just talk. Sometimes. So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't, I don't know if that answered your question.
No, I did, and I like the big brother, big sister approach as well because you have a lot of the youth out there that they don't want to talk to their parents. They don't necessarily want to talk to, the school administrators, the teachers. Every once in a while, you may get a teacher that's a favorite, but being able to go to someone that's, maybe a few years older than you, and, you just feel that comfort level, and being able to just be, authentic and be real. And I like that approach. So
Yeah, and you said something very important. Like sometimes they don't get an outlet. These kids, they don't talk to
mhm,
their parents. They don't. They may talk to their friends, but they have no outlet. And sometimes your groups and your mentorship become that outlet for that kid, and
yeah,
they're not getting it anywhere else. And that's when the work becomes even more important because they start gravitating towards you when you're on campus. They see your face and they see your presence, and that already speaks itself. So
yeah,
little by little, your presence on campuses starts becoming more like just they start gravitating towards you, and like it's a responsibility that it's a big responsibility that
yeah.
you cannot take lightly.
Yeah, most definitely. Because I mean, once you have that connection, they're really looking to you for the answers, right? I mean, a lot
Yes,
of times. So yeah. So what values are you committed to?
values. Um, that's a good question. That's a big question. First one that popped into my mind, and I know it's a big one. It's integrity. Just
Or
doing the right thing, regardless if someone is watching or not.
yeah,
Integrity. Um, I would want to say not lying, like even just telling the truth, even though if it hurts or if it maybe shows a really vulnerable side of you,
yeah,
just telling the truth. Um, Resiliency is another one. I value resiliency, and regardless of the ups and downs. And I guess I also just being authentic and being genuine as a person. Um, that you are who you are, and just embrace it.
yeah, definitely, definitely. So everyone has a mentor, and I'm sure you've had quite a few through the years. Who is a mentor that really stands out for you? Really made an impact on you.
Um, I think I've had a lot throughout, like just maybe like college. Well, I mean, the ultimate is my mom. I forgot my mom. That's a necessity. I'm blessed to have my mom. You know, um, she's really buckled down and did her best to raise me as a single mother, with me and my sister, um, in a sometimes rough neighborhood where there's a lot of risk factors around me. But I'm grateful that my mom did what she could. She did the most she could to provide that mentorship, that guidance, and that love. Ultimately, that love that kept me straight. Because there was a point where I was kind of derailing, but I
Yeah,
got back on track, and I give it up to her and other people as well. But I say like a mentor. I want to say Dr. Pumakawa from Cal Poly Pomona. I consider her my mentor, and here and there, and here is still now we still check in. Even though I'm not part of the research lab, we still kind of stay connected because I'm in graduate school now. But she really provided that mentorship with um, just the whole graduate school and life as well. But just like maneuvering graduate school and higher education, and just the ins and outs, the ropes, learning the ropes, and part of the reason why I'm in grad school. Um, she really helped me out, and she wrote me a letter of rec. And yeah,
nice.
I would say Dr. Pumakawa um, is that mentor.
And kudos to your mom as well, because she's obviously done an amazing job. You're in your master's program. You're mentoring youth to be better in the community. So my hat goes off to your mom as well, especially being a single mom. With you and your sister as well, because I know that can be very hard. So she did an awesome job. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and break real quick for our a quick commercial break, and then we're gonna come back. And I want to talk about self-care with you, Chris, because sounds like you got a lot going on in life. And we at Phoenix Fitness Fanatics, we talk about being physically, mentally, spiritually, as well as financially fit. So we're going to talk about some self-care. So we will be right back. All right, and we are back. Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. And we have our featured business spotlight with Mr. Chris Verduzco, on point mentor from Justice for Youth. So, Chris, we've been talking a little bit. It sounds like, again, you're in the master's program, you're a mentor, and that master's program, I'm sure, is pretty tough, right? So I'm sure it takes a lot of time, and you're probably you're working full time as well, right?
Correct.
So what does like self-care look like for you? Because we all need that moment just to take time, just to woosah. So what does that look like for you?
Self-care for me is probably an area of improvement, definitely. um, for me, playing soccer on a Sunday, that's when I just, you know,
Yeah.
the world stops for 90 minutes and I'm just playing soccer. I love to play soccer. Watching movies. I like running. I think running for me, dealing with a lot of things. It gets overwhelming at times.
Yeah.
And that's one thing about the work that we do. Everything in general, it gets overwhelming at times. But I like to run. I like to run. Um, just chilling when I can.
Yeah.
Chilling. I think sometimes even just like maybe even cleaning around the house, like it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
That could help out. But yeah, just I think maybe just exercise is like the main form of self care for me right now. And
Okay. Okay. Now, do you get that runner's high? I mean, is it true that there is that runner's high? I mean, I've been running for a little bit, and I have gotten it, but I like to ask people that as well. Like, have you gotten to that point before? We've gotten that runner's high. We just
um, yeah, I you definitely feel better after. You feel like you just like blew off some steam. Um, yeah, I definitely feel better after, and I feel like I needed it. It's just part of like my routine to keep me going, even though it's like a physical activity that gets you tired. It's also something that just keeps you going, like I guess spiritually. I
yeah,
think working out should be more on like on the spiritual tip. The physical features or those are just benefits. Those are perks, yeah. But I
yeah,
feel like just for like your mind.
yeah. No, I completely agree with you there. And see, and it's all about the music mix, though. You got to have that runner's mix,
Yeah. Mhm.
keeps you going. So, Chris, where do you see yourself in 5 years, in the next 5 years?
5 years. I would hopefully be done with my master's program. Everything goes good. Um, 5 years. That's a good one. I don't know. I want to see how it is. If I get through my master's program, everything good. I don't know. I want to see my goal for my doctorates. I don't know. Um, I
Okay,
want to see.
Dr. Chris. Okay.
Yeah, I want to go for that. Being in school. I'm 25, so I'll be 30. Um, maybe having a child already. I'm not too sure. Hopefully, still having my mom around me. Um, yeah, maybe either I'm in school or I'm in the field already in school-based family counseling. Either or. That'll probably be like the main highlight of that time, and obviously the people around me.
Love it. Love it. So we have Miss Cindy Lee tuning in. Oh, she says for the self-care, she says beach time. That's for sure. She's in those beach cities there. She's in the OC. And she said 5 years goal. How will you impact others? That's right, Cindy. That's right. How will you impact others? So
Oh, is that question for me?
yes.
How will I impact others in 5 years?
Yeah. That's from Cindy Lee.
All right,
Thank you,
cool.
Cindy.
Cool. Thank you, Cindy. Um, how will I impact others? Well, definitely, if I'm already, if I'm already practicing and licensed as a MFT, that's one way. Working with families and collaborating with families and schools to ultimately um, help these kids reach the best version of themselves academically and just personally. Working with families and working with schools. Love working with love working at schools. Um, Definitely always being around the youth in 5 years. I will always like to be around the youth and just that's like just the nitty gritty for me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and still maybe keeping the connections that I still have right now. Some of the connections with the students, see how they're doing in 5 years. Like the senior that I had that we're working with right now.
Yeah.
5 years, she'll probably maybe be in college or something. Still keeping that long term connection. It's a lifelong relationship at times. Um, yeah, maybe not a specific answer, but definitely always impacting others. Like if you're not helping, I don't know what you're doing.
Okay, that's right. If you're not helping, I don't know what you're doing. That's what we were put here to do, is to help each other, uplift each other, and help
Yeah,
each other grow. That's for sure.
yeah. Despite the occupation or the career you have, there's helping in some shape or form others, family members, whoever. I think we all have that responsibility to
Yeah.
free other people once you've been freed.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Thank you. So, do you have any final words or any words of encouragement for our audience today?
Um, you know, I think just seeing how the world could get dark at times, um, and also be very light and very joyful at times. I guess just don't forget to be kind to others, spread love, be kind, be unified. At times, it could feel divided, in a world that has a lot of problems at times, with the mass shootings and just everything in general. The world doesn't sleep. We do, but the world don't sleep. I'm
Right.
sorry,
That's right.
but just be kind. Just be kind and spread love.
Thank you. Yes, I love that. Be kind and spread love, everyone. And really, you know what? If you can connect with your communities, find the organizations like Justice for Youth, because they are looking for you. They're looking for people to help wherever we can. Our youth are going to be the ones that are taking care of us as we, get into our older years. So we want to make sure that we really are loving on them and we're really helping them to find that right direction, in life. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. Chris, thank you so much for coming in, joining us, telling us a little more about, yourself, about On Point, about Justice for Youth, and have an amazing Friday. And we look forward to seeing everybody soon. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you.